Welcome to C Programming Tutorials. This is a production of YouTube channel Learnorama and the Facebook page Awesome C Programming Tutorials in High Def. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, I would suggest that you do so, because this way you will be notified of any new tutorials that I post as soon as I post. And I would also suggest that you become a fan of the Facebook channel Facebook page Awesome C Programming Tutorials in High Def. Okay, so let's get started. In today's tutorial we are going to learn about files, how you can open files in C. In the previous tutorial we learned about what files are, why they are important, and how to what are different types of files. In today's tutorial we are going to see how you can open the files, because opening the file is the main important step that you have to do before you can do anything with the files in C or in any other language. So let's get started. First of all, in this particular compiler, if you have these files included, you don't really have to do this, but in general you will need to do this. Okay, #include stdio.h. okay. And then let's see. Again, everything that so far that we have learned, any other than basic stuff, they require functions in C. C is a structured programming language. That's the reason why it has a whole bunch of functions. Because function is actually, as we learned, that function does a particular job, and while using the function you don't need to know how that particular job is done. All you need to know that how to call that function, and that this job would be done after that. So since right now we are faced with the problem of opening a file, obviously we will have to use a function to open a file. Okay, so this is the function called fopen for file open. This is the function that you need to use to open a file, and then you have to specify the path, a file name, okay, preferably with the path, and then you have to specify the mode. Okay, and this actually will open the file with this name, file name, and in this mode that you specified, mode. Okay, and it returns something called file pointer. Okay, so you have to capture that file pointer. You have to store it in a file pointer. So you declare a file pointer, and you can call it whatever you want to call it. Let's call it pfile. Okay, and then you can say pfile is equal to fopen followed by the file name as the first parameter and the mode in which you want it to be open. And we will learn what this means in a minute. Okay, now file name, it's going to be a string. Okay, you can specify whatever file you want, abc.txt, or you just say abc, or whatever you want to say you can say. Okay, and you can specify the full path, c:\abc.txt. What you are saying is that you want to store it in C drive or C partition in the root directory, like this. So it will actually open a file at this particular location, in this path, which is the root directory, and with this name, abc.txt. Okay, you don't have to specify the path. Path is optional. You can just specify the name of the file, and it will go and open it wherever this application is running from. It will just open it right there. Okay, so you better know where you are running this application from. This is where it's going to create the file. Okay, if you are not sure, you can specify the full path if you want. The problem is that the path has to exist. If the path would not exist, the fopen is going to fail. Okay, and when fopen fails, it will return a null pointer. Okay, a pointer that points to address 0, which is, it's like not pointing anywhere. So it will return a null pointer. If it successfully opens the file, it returns a pointer to a file descriptor, and you don't have to know what a file descriptor is. It is of this type, file. You don't have to know about this. All you need to know is that you have the pointer to that descriptor, and you have to capture and you keep it safe, just like we did, store it in some variable, in the file pointer variable. Okay, this is what you need to do, and that's it. That's all we need, because subsequent calls to do all the operations to this file, they are not going to need this file name. They will need this file pointer. Okay, not the file name, file pointer. The only call that needs the file pointer of a file name is fopen. After that only we will be using the descriptor or the file pointer actually. Okay, now here's the second parameter to this thing, mode. You have to tell what you are opening the file for. Okay, so you have to tell it, if you want to just read from the file, you have to write R. Okay, you have to, if you just want to read from the file, you are not going to write to it, you're just going to read from it, you specify R here. So in other words, you do this. Okay, notice that this is also a string, and this is also a string. Obviously it's a file name, since it's a name it has to be string, but this is also a string. Okay, it's not a character, so you cannot write it like this. You have to write it like this. Okay, so R is read only. The file has to exist before you can read it. If the file does not exist, again it will return null pointer. Okay, fopen is going to return null pointer. So null pointer kind of tells you that there has been an error in opening the file. Okay, and then next thing is, next mode is write. W. Obviously this is to write the file. Okay, if the file exists already, it's going to delete that file and create a new one. If the file does not exist, it will create a new one anyway. So in this particular mode, the file does not have to exist. It just needs to, it will be created, it will be like brand new after this point if you'll open a file with in write mode. The next mode is append. A. Append means that you will be writing to the end of the file. So the file, if the file exists, you will be writing at the end of the file. So every time when you will be writing to it, you will be writing at the end of the file. You cannot read from this file. You cannot read from this file if you open it in this mode. If you open it in this mode, you can only write. If you open it this mode, you can only write. You can, this will create a new file, brand new file. This will append to the existing file. If the file does not exist, then it will create a new file. Okay. The next mode is R plus. Alright. R plus is basically, it's for read and write both. You are saying that you want to read from the file and you want to write from the file. The file has to exist in this case again, just like in this case. Okay. And then the next one is write plus. That says that you want to read and write from the file. The file will be deleted if it already exists, just like here. It's like the combination of these two, this W plus. Okay, if the file does not exist, it will be created. If the file exists, it will be deleted and a new file will be created. Okay, in other words, it will be emptied. And then the next one is A plus, of course, which says that it's again for read and write both. But if the file exists, you will be writing at the end. It won't be deleted, or it won't be recreated, or emptied or something. It won't be. Okay, so this is what A plus does. All right, so you can open a file in any of these modes. All right, now if all these modes actually open the file in the text mode, in other words, you can only write text data. And what is the text data? Text data is the data that can be printed. So a file will be only printable file. Okay, if you really want to create a binary file, as we learned, there are two types of files. You have to put a B at the end of these. So let me stop here at this point, and I will continue with this tutorial in the next video. Thank you so much.